Hello, sports fans from around the world. It's the one you've been waiting for, the NRL SuperCoach, a BDE podcast. We are the best draft experts here to bring you all the action and the analysis from the round 24 NRL team lists. We're experts in draft, listeners. You've been following us all season. It's been great to have you aboard. We're going to bloody steer you home to some grand final victories here. I can just feel it. And really, just helping us get over the line is the expert himself, looking shorn and beautiful. BDE, Simon, how good do you run? Hello, sir.
Oh, mate, I thought you were going to say Toddy's name there for a second. He's looking good himself, the Todd.
Looking good, well. Analysis, no.
Nah, you guys all right, the Todd. But no, it's good to be back, boys. Yeah, obviously I was away last week, missed the show. I was off on a trip with work, so back into it. This is where we're all here for, SuperCoach finals. Like, it's just the best. So yeah.
That's it,
hopefully there's a few teams that are going to need it a little bit this week. There's obviously been a bit of carnage with the Bronx and all sorts of ins and outs. Paps is out this week. There's been a few moving parts, so hopefully we can give you guys some advice to get you across the line this week.
Yes, Simo, some carnage as people round into some finals. Been an odd season to be an Ezra Man fan for many a reason, but won't feature in the SuperCoach finals. Todd, got your goat there, mate, with a laugh. And is that a fresh ball I see in the background? Just couldn't take my eyes off it, mate.
Yes, mate. Cheeky Waz ball. $5 at one of those bloody claw machines in the shopping centre, mate. Can't walk past one. The missus actually picked it up, so yeah, Waz not going too good, but that ball is pretty sexy. No. So yeah.
Yeah, well played from the Misso, not so much from the Waz. And I'm just wondering where the Dragons ball is, mate. Is there a Dragons ball there?
They've already got punted, mate, because they're not in finals.
Yeah, okay. Might be trending better than your Waz at the moment, to be fair. We'll talk about the Waz when we get there, mate. I know a very big in this week that I think will give them some joy. I think the team have maybe not realised how much Wade Egan really helped them with the service from dummy half. Freddie Lussick.
Pretty Lussick.
Holy moly. We're not even there yet. I'm just going to go out there again. Can someone please explain to me why he's providing service from dummy half in the NRL? He has no timing. He may have the game awareness of young Talon De Silva combined. It's pretty rough.
Wasn't it rough with Talon De Silva? Jeez.
Mate, I'm not a Parramatta fan. I didn't have a bet on Parramatta, and I was giving it to him through the TV. And the Misso even says, "What's he doing?" Like,
yeah. Well, the commentator said those exact words. I think Vossi was on the call. Like, Talon De Silva, what are you doing? Moses, I'm not quite
listening to. He said, "What are you doing, mate?"
And he's got form, Todza. You'll remember a couple of weeks ago, mate, I made the exact same commentary. So seeing him do it again, would not have enjoyed being in the dressing room if they had have lost. Oof. My goodness! Yeah. Remember the David Beckham boot to the face from Sir Alex? I think maybe a couple of boots were coming his way. Rough chat. Shout out as well, listeners, to those who were into their Premier League with the SuperCoach Premier League now added, as well as I did do a bit of a teaser, and I'll follow up on that I am mad about my NFL fantasy, and I'll be having a crack at some NFL fantasy analysis. Stay tuned for my round one draft team that I've already put together. And I can tell you with the salary cap that's there, it's an absolute eye-popping feast of fantasy stars. They may have to up the old salary cap rate, judging by my first look. My team is stacked AF.
Yeah, I did the same thing today, mate. How do we play around? And thought to myself, that looks a bit too strong.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be able to have both Jefferson or the combination of Jefferson, Chase, and CeeDee Lamb in your side, still running Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. So it already seems a bit top-heavy to me. So anyway.
Chase, Jefferson's, St. Brown with Barkley and Lamar. Like, that seems
tough. Yeah, good. Just have the entire first round of a fantasy draft. But anyway, just for those listeners who are keen, and welcome to our loyal live listeners as well, and for those who are watching it back and those on the beautiful Spotify podcast, thank you again for all your support this year. We'll be looking to keep growing the brand and finding new ways to bring you content. So thank you so much, listeners. What an absolute bomby dazzler, I'm going to call it this. Round 24 kickoff, the Panthers v. the Storm. Massive game, really, for momentum of both sides, but obviously also the Penny Panthers, just to solidify that top four up over the unfortunate Wars. Someone asked me today, I had a great chat in the lunchroom about if I had to put my money on who wins the premiership this year, the Penny Panthers are it. I think they're going to, even with Isaiah Yeo here, I think they'll be too much. I think Pappy's a massive out for them, especially here. And no Hughes. Hughes' shoulder injury also makes it just so tough to put Storm as favourites for me. So I've really got Penny Panthers. I think the question, Simo, just to kick us off, mate, is this one of those matchups? You're starting your studs. Let's not pretend, right? Nick Meaney becomes a must start thanks to being the goal kicker and fullback where he brains it there. So even in a tough matchup. Just tell me, mate, who are the people here we've been starting that you'd actually put a red line on? I'm more interested in.
Yeah, it's probably more those sort of fringe Storm players. Like, you're definitely not going to go like the Jackie Howarths of the world. Like, they're guys you're going to see on the Pine this week. I think Isaac Tungo is a really tough one because I think he cracked a 90 last week. And if you've had him on your roster, like, obviously you're a believer in his talent. So he's one of those ones that's like, it's hard to bench him coming off a 90, but I think you probably should. That sort of level of player, I think, are the ones that you can foreseeably bench. But yeah, it's one of those ones like, Meaney's a definite start. We know Toto's a must start. Thomas Jenkins.
Casey McLean?
Yeah, see, those two guys, for me, I just think I roll them out there. I don't...
You kind of have to, don't you? McLean's averaging about 80 in the last 5 weeks, and Jenkins he's got upside, right?
Yeah. As much as it might suck, yes, it is a tough matchup. You just have to lower those expectations a little bit. But I think when it's all said and done, they're going to be like, it's hard for me to see 40 CTWs I'd rather start over those guys, which would make them guys I'd be benching if that's the case. And I just don't have it as that. So I think you have to just roll them out there and just take your lumps.
Isaiah Papali'i, Todd, becomes probably one of the tougher ones for mine. He's actually been really good when he's had this lock position. With Sorensen on the Pine, Garner, obviously, you're starting Garner because he's just been so good and he just presents such good upside as well. Can you start IPAP, mate?
Yeah, the minutes last week were only around that 45. Really tough. He does get through a fair bit of work, but really looking for some like attacking stats. I'm not entirely at a try last week, so not entirely sure we're going to see a huge amount of attacking stats from IPAP this week. If I had a different option, I probably would look to it. But as an FRF2, like, if he can knock you out of 50, you're probably pretty solid. So,
Yep. I like that analysis, mate. I think FRF2, he's fine. He's a starter in most leagues in that scenario. If you got a better option, 2 or F is where I'd probably take it.
That's
good shout. And I'm right just to check, Simo?
I was just going to say, analysis that you shouldn't like. Like, I'm such an idiot. I didn't even realize that Howarth wasn't even named. So
I wasn't going to call you up on it, mate. I was going to give you an early little serve, but I'm like, let him ease back into the podcast. Do his thing. It's all good.
Fully deserved. But yeah, the advice from him is true. Definitely don't start him. But
don't start him, mate. You're accurate, mate.
I mean, I think a lot of these other guys, we just roll them out there.
Okay, so to the Storm quickly. Sean Blaw's one I could easily sit, and that's not being a revolutionary, but he's just floors too low. Like, it's not saying he couldn't have a good solid game with probably a lot of emphasis on the middles here and some higher floor, I would say, in terms of tackling. But for me, I can't quite get there. I think Taran Wishart is far from an obvious start too, but you might be boxed into a corner. If, for example, you have got Fogarty on a bye this week and Wishart's on your team, he may be the best you got, and you just got to roll with it. The two for me, gentlemen, that I think are far from easy. Now, Xavier Coates is not without his floor games, but am I right in saying, Simo, he's just shown too much real life, especially again on the run home. He's probably sneaking in as a 4 CTW, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be another one of those ones. It's pretty much rinse and repeat what we said before. Like, he's probably going to have a bit of a tougher matchup here, lower expectations. But yeah, is there 40 guys? No, there's not. So
probably
he's as good a chance of a try as anyone in the NRL at the moment. So
that box kick, Simo?
It sucks that he gets so many of them off kicks. That's the only problem. But even that, you still have to roll Coates out because he's just been too good this year.
Okay, sticking with it then. Gentlemen, I just want a green or a red light, and I think this is probably up there with IPAP is as hard as you get. Grant Anderson, Tods, just give me a red or a green light.
Red light.
Simo?
Yeah, I'd probably try and steer clear as well. I think the difference between him and the other wingers in this game, at least Jenkins is probably the main one you compare him to. Like Jenkins has got that little bit more base that Anderson doesn't have. So, to me, Anderson's like a screaming 20 this week, and it worries me. So I'd probably try to see clear.
Fair enough. All right. Utakamanu's recent form, listeners, I think you'll have a tough time benching him as well. I think with the additional points in the middle, I think it's actually not a bad matchup for Udo, who's been absolutely on fire since Origin.
Braining it recently. Braining it.
Todger and I were all over it last week, so he's one of those ones hopefully you picked up a couple of weeks ago. So good luck to you. Our man, Captain Rivalry, is with us and says, "Evening, gents," and we say, "Good day, Captain Rivalry."
Aye, Captain.
Here he is.
And Rivalry, I'll just hold off on answering your question, mate, till we move a bit further down in the matchups. Now, just I on Mr. Little Puppy, also hold him if you can manage to get through this week and you're in a final. I believe it is only a concussion, so we'll return, even though Melbourne do have a sneaky tough end to the season, I believe. Warriors v Dragons. Up the Waz. Mate, you must be looking at Wade Egan there. He has been a massive, massive out for your side in terms of that cohesion and go forward. I guess I probably learned about how good a player he was this year, watching him a bit more closely. Forget about Supercoach even for a minute. Real life, the kid can play. From a Supercoach perspective, Todd's huge concern was Samuel Healy on the bench, because if Egan's not getting 80, now he is a red hot chance hitting upside in this matchup. Do not get me wrong. But I feel like the floor score is going to be a little risky here.
Yeah, you're totally right there, mate. Wade Egan could easily play 50 and young Sam Healy come on and play 30. There's every chance he does hit heaps of upside, though. Like, coming back into the team, he knows that Healy's been pretty good, even though we didn't start him last week, which is just beyond a joke. I think Wade Egan's going to be up for this game. Like, we've been on a bit of a downslope. I think he's going to be really up for it. So I think I'll be completely fine starting Egan, even if he gets that 55, 60-minute role. I think there's enough upside in this matchup in particular to really set a good score and not let it down. So I would still be happy playing Wade Egan this week, especially with guys like Starling on bye. There's probably not too much out there anyway in terms of hookers. So, yeah, I'd still be firing him up this week.
I'll just throw a comparison up there. So Wade Egan, Sam Verrills, easy low-hanging fruit, had a great matchup last week and hit some upside as Pubby's done in a couple, but still an option because he'll play 80 minutes. And the other one was JMK, although the Finns are struggling in that matchup. If you had to rank them for me, what do you reckon?
I would probably start Verrills over Egan, then JMK.
Simo, any different from you, mate?
No, I think Verrills is probably the clear one there because his minutes are so good. I'd probably push back a little bit on the next one. I think Egan will have a bit of a lull this week, just being eased back in. So as unsexy as it is, and I don't like it, I think I would start JMK this week over him, but I don't love it.
I don't love it either.
Yeah, it's probably more about Verrills. About Egan's sort of minutes this first week back than it is anything else.
It's a hard one for me, guys. I dropped Egan when he had the shoulder mention, and in favor of a bit of rotation between JMK and Verrills because I saw the matchups, and I think that my concern was this: Sam Healy's looks so good. Like, how the hell, again, you said, Todd, that he wasn't start over Lussick? I've got no idea. That makes literally no sense. As Captain Rivalry said here, Healy hovering on the bench, it's terrifying, isn't it, mate? Like, Healy's good enough to have earned more than 30 minutes of game time, to be honest. So that's a tough one. I would say, boys, a very relevant question for a lot of our listeners. Now, if they weren't prepared for this bye round involving Fogarty, Tanner Boyd in this matchup goal kicking against the Dragons at Go Media Stadium early on a Friday night, or Tyron Wishart against Panthers, is probably a decision that some of our listeners in a must-win week are going to be faced with. As Simo's attending to some dad duties, I'll go to you there, Todd. Oh. I think that one, I know where I am at, and it makes me sick in the guts.
Yeah, that is just so gross. Tanner Boyd can easily shit the bed here. Boy, howdy. I guess it is probably Tanner Boyd to get a low sort of 50. Like, it feels so gross because if he comes out and scores you at 27 and loses you a week, you're like, well, I should have started Wishart.
Yeah.
Wishart definitely has more of the upside than what Tanner Boyd does, though. So, and I know they get against Penrith, but you're still rocking up a Melbourne team. No Pappy, but just wish he's that play early on in the game too. It's probably Tanner Boyd.
I've got it somewhat obviously Tanner without being excited. And one of our little listeners, Phoenix Star, welcome back, mate. Good to have you on board. Has asked the question. I'm going to add this, Simo. So we're talking about those that have lost Fogarty this week, probably faced with a tough one, mate.
Yep.
And I think that Tyron Wishart versus Tanner Boyd is a very realistic decision that someone may have to make. Yeah. Adding Phoenix Star, who said, "Hey boys, are we siding with Ben Hunt or Boyd this week?" Very relevant question, I must say.
So out of the three, look, I would side with Benny Hunt this week. I'm all about the matchups for the other two. Like Boyd, I'm playing the matchup game.
That's a good one.
But yeah, in this particular week, like Wishart, I just don't want to be starting him. To be quite fair, like it's one of those ones. Like for me, he's last of that group. Give me Boyd in the better matchup, and then Benny Hunt. I just think Benny Hunt's probably got that bit more attack to him. So that's how I'd rank him for this week for sure. Because like Wishart, he has good upside, but first game of the round, it's just a tough matchup away. I just don't. I think you boys have the same ick about it. Like it just doesn't feel right. So I'd be trying to bench him if I could.
What about Tanner Boyd versus King Tongia, boys? Like
I was literally about to bring it up. Yeah,
I like Flanagan. Last 3 weeks, very good King Tongia. I think he scored like 60 plus in the last 3 weeks. So
it's a decent shout. I've still got Boyd in front, but I can certainly see the Wishart owner being very nervous. I'm with Simo. I didn't like. I sided easily. It's just I think in New Zealand, I don't know if that's any better a matchup, and I really think there'll be better starch this week from your boys, Tods, with Egan out there. I'm trying not to oversell it, but I really think he helps with all the momentum of that team and structure. So I think I would still have Tanner Boyd ahead of those boys, Simo, unless you disagree.
Yeah, I would too. I think exactly what you said. It's in New Zealand. I feel like the conditions, the crowd, it's good for Tanner Boyd because he can just like he'll get similar points to what Fogarty would get, just like putting up bombs and leading to tries. They're not super skillful points, but they all count. Whereas like it just reeks of like a King Tongia sort of lull game over there against the Wars. So yeah, I'd go Boyd as well.
Our man with the beautiful hair, DWZ, and your man, D Walker Tods. What do they have in comparison?
Dylan Walker and Dallin Watene-Lesniak.
Add Kelma Tuolangi to that mix. Trying to give you a hint there.
Players you like that I don't know.
Victor Radley. Players that you shouldn't start ever because it's too terrifying watching him get injured pretty much every time they take a hit up. DWZ, I swear, he just gets hit in the side of the face. He gets chopped at an ankle. And then all of a sudden, there he is, the hair in full flow. He is an absolute train wreck, and I will forever love him for that feeding off SJ's absolute peak Supercoach season. So
there was reports that the Wars were heading for Calm Pereira as of November 1st. So that would be huge for the Wars. I think he replaces Dallin for me, anyway.
I think that anyone that signs Calm Pereira, spend an off-season teaching him how to tackle, and you may have one of the best wingers we've got, just because you can't replace pace. All right? Our man Cal, g'day Cal, has come in and added into the equation and said, g'day gents, can we add Purdue to this 5/8 comparison?
Ooh. Purdue against the Tigers this week, isn't it?
Tigers is
no,
Manly,
not Tigers. It is Cowboys with Knights. Knights. Good matchup.
Starting.
Purdue, easy day of the week.
Simo, you're all over this with sides of the field. Is he on best though? And Gagai's back to the centres also, so we're a little better in the centres for a change.
Yeah, well, Purdue plays left, and Gagai would be playing right, so he'd be up against Gags. They're 1 and 2. I can see why Cal's brought that up. I've got. Do I really want to put Tanner over Purdue? I can understand the Purdue. I just think the floor game might not be there still. Be a little bit nervous about that. Is it Clifford this week? Clifford in the halves?
Yeah, it's Clifford. Yeah.
Is it in Townsville?
Yeah.
Purdue easy.
4 o'clock, Sunday Arvo in town.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sunday Arvo. If it's in the dry, I think you go Purdue. I think there's a floor argument here. I'll just add a bit of analysis, Cal. If you were pretty comfortable in your matchup, Boyd will get you a floor pretty much locked in. He may get an upside game of 70. Purdue's a chance of going 100 plus. You choose your own adventure.
Ride track, 26.
Choose your own adventure. Knights roll over in a grindy win, mate. You heard it here first. I wouldn't listen to me, listeners. I'm talking out of my ass when it comes to the Knights.
That's when you know the boys giving up on Toddy Payton, that's for sure.
Yeah, Toddy Payton. They rally around Toddy Payton, don't they? Really do. Just play their best.
Mitchell Moses.
You've had the strangest prediction. You look like a genius early, an absolute dumbass in the middle, and now you look like a genius again. So how good do you run, Todd?
Yeah, just remember that genius spot.
Story of your life, mate. The Dragons, I do think this is a very tough matchup. So although Hayden Buchanan may be a good one for the future, I just couldn't roll any of that back line. Gutho finally hitting a bit of form. He's probably going to be your best fullback, lads, I'd say. I'm just trying to think of an argument. If you've got like a Jai Gray versus a Clint Gutherson decision to make, just quickly name your spot, Todd.
Gutho.
Yeah, Gutho.
Is there any like Bula Gutho maybe? Maybe some have that combo.
Still Gutho.
Probably. That's close. That one's I don't mind the matchup against Manly. I still think they're soft as butter, and I've been proven kind of right in recent times. And they've lost the defensive starch of Gerbo, who's gone down with another concussion. Poor fella. Shout out to him.
Oh, Jakey.
Jeez, he's been hitting the head a lot, poor Jakey. Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
boys,
sad
it'll be
because,
remiss.
it's really sad because we always knew Gerbo's been the technically one of the best defenders getting around for the last 8 or 9 years. And it was always going to be so sad when Gerbo got to the point where his technique would still lead to concussions, and that's where we're at. It's it's just really sad shit to see.
Cal has chimed in and said, "Cheers, guys. I agree. Boring 40-60 versus 20-90. I think you're being a little rough. I think you got to get to 65 for Tanner Boyd, mate. That's rough from you, Cal." And I'll come back.
That story checks out.
I'll come back in your couple other questions, mate. Appreciate you joining tonight. Hope you're well, sir. Hamish Stewart, quite impressive, I thought, on the edge last week. Played 80 minutes. I just want to know, is this a locked-in 80-minute moment? Or are we nervous with Michael Mollo on the bench that he might actually get spelled? Or is this for Lucy to go back to being spelled? I'll go with you, Simo. Stewart,
Mate,
80 minutes?
Lucy needs to be spelled, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think Lucy's probably glad to be spelled at this point. I kind of like Hamish Stewart. He's got the dual flexibility.
Yeah, he's good.
I think there'll be a lot of people with question marks over him because of what you just said with the bench rotation. I think it's a real chance to sneak him through as a decent waiver. Is he going to, has he got a massive ceiling? No, but as a number 2 FRF, he's pretty solid, like a 50, somewhere between 50 and 58, pretty solidly.
Yep. Britton Nicker are replacements, boys. That's obviously what we're thinking. Or Hudson Young. They're the 2 ones from this week. Elite number 1 style 2RFs that are not playing. So obviously keep that in mind. I think Hamish Stewart, at least, if you want something that shouldn't sink you, I'm with you, Simo. I tend to think this is his 80-minute role, and I don't mind him for the run home if you need a 2RF. If you need an FRF too, though, you could be looking at a really good play. So good shout, mate. All right. Now, Christian Tuipulotu, the money man, Todza, easy advice, mate. Go in, pick him up if he's out there, stash him in the hope he sneaks in, and if he starts on the left wing, fire him up. Just be very nervous. Just be very nervous. He's a chance of injury.
He's 120 or 2 hamstrings gone. That's what he is.
Risky business. Okay, this is the second absolute peach matchup of the round, and for those who may have season-long bets on the Roosters missing the 8, it's now or never. We really need the Dogs to step up here. Simo, anything else, if you could? How good do your boys time the run against the mighty Finns? They finally ran out of players, and I tell me you didn't feel sorry for them, because I certainly did.
I felt sorry for them because Jared Sutton actually refereed against the Roosters for once. With the Roosters, I should say. It's just he's usually so Andy Chooks Jerry Sutton, but it was ridiculous how good we had it on the weekend. Like it was some of those decisions. I think you messaged me, Toddy. Like it was ridiculous the calls the Chooks were getting.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, I mean, what do you say? Like when you get those many good calls, you're going to put points on. I mean, the Finns were clearly missing a bit as well. So
so bad.
You know, the Roosters have definitely timed their run into, like, if we speak about what they are as a team, like they've got a lot of the players they need fit and firing now. Like Teddy's obviously going well. Sammy Walker's got a couple of games under his belt and has looked really good.
He was good last week, Sammy Walker.
Savala, pretty
Savala.
good. You know, deputy role. He did his part, boys. Like he can kick the ball very well. Give him that.
Like, and the thing with the Roosters too, like they've got really solid wingers like Tupou and Marky Mark. Plus you got obviously Billy Smith and Toya, like pretty good defensive centers there. Like they're not missing a lot, to be fair. And
No, they're not.
Yeah, so this will be a cracking game because the Bulldogs are obviously still without Tracy. They've moved Marnie to the bench. There's a bit of action there. Big game for Lockie Galvin. I feel like it's
huge.
The Bulldogs been getting a lot of stick about not being able to beat top 8 teams. Or I mean, they haven't really played many, to be fair to them. But the media has been what it's been. So this will be a cracking game. This one
heavily underutilizing their edge players at the moment, the Dogs, and it's crazy because their early success was letting a big Billy bomb forward and Preston do his thing, his mad dog thing. So they need to get them both more involved, in my opinion. The big one here is Egan Butcher, lads. Like he does come in here, he probably plays a lot of minutes, if not 80 on an edge. Scored well last week as well. I know we think he's a fairly limited player, but he's still probably going to do a role. And if you've got either Huddy or Nicker out, or any others that I've missed, like how high is he on the list here, Todd?
Yeah, see, I'm not as high on Egan Butcher. I don't think he plays 80. I think Steep or Fiketti definitely spell him. I don't think he goes a full 80. Egan Butcher's a weird one. Like we've seen him do some good things on the edge, but I've also seen him be real crap too. So I wouldn't be rushing out to waiver him, to be honest with you, mate. That's just me. I don't know if Simo, do you have a different opinion about Egan Butcher?
No, I wouldn't even either. There's every chance Fiketti starts, there's a real good chance that Fiketti takes minutes off him at least. So, yeah, I'm not that keen.
So too risky. So then the minute distribution, you think that one of the edge rolls gets chopped up, and obviously Victor doesn't play 80 either, is most likely, with obviously Ayelu on the bench to spell Watson. Is that your...
Yeah.
That's your take?
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Yeah.
Ayelu to start, even though they keep naming Watson and I'm stupid.
Yeah, flipping it all over the place. It's very odd. Okay, so marginal starts for me. You're going to start Tupou. You're going to start Nwangani Tawaze. Obviously had bad form before last week and finally just did his thing. Robert Toyer and Billy Smith in this matchup, boys. It's a tough one. It's tough for them both, I think. It's not something I'd be super excited about. Are either of them for CTW status?
I personally think Bobby Toyer is. I wouldn't be fine. I'm going to pick Billy Smith guy this year, but I wouldn't be starting Billy Smith. I think Bobby Toyer does enough attacking stats to really warrant a start as a fourth anyway.
Okay. Yep. Simo, simple green light on Toyer or Smith, mate?
Tough one. Like with Crichton, Crichton's been defending in the centers, hasn't he? But playing fullback in attack, at least within the red zone. So I still view it as Crichton as a defensive center there in terms of how we view this matchup. So I wouldn't want to start Billy Smith. With that being said, so Toyer maybe, but yeah, Smith, I wouldn't want to be going there.
Shout out to the SuperCoach God that just keeps on keeping on, and New South Wales #1 fullback with a bullet who'll win the Dally M in an absolute canter. It's probably one of the most no-brainer Dally M's we've seen for a while. He may win this with a couple of weeks left, to be honest, of the way he's going. How good's he playing? Like, it's ridiculous. He's just out of this world.
I asked Red during the week, actually, are you a best fullback ever, James Tedesco or Billy? Where are you sit on that?
Billy by country, yeah.
Really?
For me.
By country?
Yeah.
Wow. See,
I tend I wonder. I do wonder, Simo. I said that for me, like I think it's very close. I will give Billy because of the Origin record, and I get all that. Don't get me wrong. Just club career though, just purely club. Take away the premierships the Storm didn't actually win as well. I think that sometimes when we think about even Cam Smith as the GOAT, we bring those premierships in that they got stripped of that are now displayed prominently in their display hall. By the way, I don't know if you saw that. I just wonder if the narrative, and now he's an Origin coach, and he's arguably top 5 Origin moment all time. The chip over the top. Try and remove that and just go purely on club performance and how many times he's the best player on the park. I think it's really close.
Nah, see, for me, Tedesco, Slater just this is what I can't get past in my head, and this is how I think. It's like Billy Slater just transcended the fullback position, like changed the whole position, and the way that we play the game now is different because Billy Slater had played it. And like, yes, Teddy's a gun. He has been for a very long time. But when Teddy retires, we're not going to look at the fullback position and think that we need to play a different style of game because James Tedesco has played it. So for me, Slater has just been, that sort of generational sort of talent there where he was doing things well before his time, and that factors into it for mine.
Yeah, I'm curious on a deeper convo over a few tinnies, Simo. I'm not disagreeing because I've heard that argument. I kind of want to know what you mean about this transcended the position, changed the position. Because the reason I think that's worthy conversation for another day is I actually think Teddy does it his own way as well as that prominent first receiver style fullback. Like he's almost done it his own way. And I think he lifts the output of his team, and he's often criticized for that because that slipping over period he had. But once he got a good set of boots under him, good on you, Ted, and got his bunda all covered up, just there's something about what he does that I think is magic and almost underrated for a team. And I even think he's got like a silkier pair of hands than you think he does, and it's almost a perfectly rounded game for mine. So I'll give it to you, mate. I imagine that most would say Slater, but I just think Todd's question in the debate is a worthy one.
Yeah, it is a good question for sure. For me, like just defensively, Billy Slater, like what he did off the ball, and you can see it in his coaching at Queensland level as well. Like he's just the X's and O's, just really that's the student of the game. But we could be here forever. So.
Knees and feet to faces.
I was going to say perfected the shoulder charge before it was outlawed for a fullback. A lot of New South Welshmen will say.
Yeah, don't forget the sliding in with the legs.
Sliding knees.
Sliding legs. Oh, man.
He did a couple of things that wouldn't pass muster in today, but that was the game of the time, mate. So, no, fair comment.
The position, I said, boys. Transcended.
Yeah,
Teddy thought Bunda, though.
Made best bunda in the business. The Missos always gets around with the popcorn when the Roosters play. So, Meso says, good evening, good sir. Good to have you back. So, agree, lads. There was talk years ago who's washed up. Manu and Swali clipping at his heels for the Chooks #1. Not unjustly, I agree. I thought Swali was destined for some massive things. To see Teddy go so well this year warms the cockles. Absolutely does. Fly kick, Marky Marks, says Rivalry's got violent tonight for some reason. Love your work, mate. Okay, back to the action here. Kiraz is still in there at fullback, which has been kind of not as good for his Supercoach output as you'd have hoped, although real life, he played an absolute perler of a game on the weekend. His hands in the wet. I mean, he's proved he's got the ball handling to be an elite fullback, to be honest with you. I just think you want him out there on the wing doing his thing where he can float around a little bit more, in my opinion. I see that Connor Tracy is on the extended. So, boys, Connor Tracy goes into ahead of Tuipulotu. If you've got the bench space, there's a chance that he comes in, and obviously starting Connor Tracy in your CTW is a no-brainer. So if he's been dropped, which I doubt he has, go and get him. Easy enough.
Yep.
Do we think Anari Tuala, because Anari Tuala did have a very good game again on the weekend, right? He's not a bad-looking rooster, by the way.
Toddy's
I can't stand that guy. How he's playing first grade is unbelievable, man.
He's I love how I like all these unfashionable players, and it gets up Todd's goat to her. Just doesn't like
It's
it.
just like he's so bad, dude.
Look,
But he
as soon
looks
as you
okay
said his
last week
name,
against
like
the Warriors, like oh shit,
The look
beat
of
the Warriors in
disdain.
the wet. Get out of here,
The look
Tuala.
of disdain on Todd there is
and why were you
Tuala
liking
brained
him,
him.
Redford? Like he was crap at the Knights. He's burnt
Oh,
you
he
as
was
much as he's
so
burnt
bad
Todd.
at the Knights.
It's because he's now a heartthrob. The Missos eyed him up on the weekend and gone, when did he get good looking? And we looked at his pictures, right? Because I was the same. I'm like, it's like Jesse Arthur's got the haircut and started to look like a hot boy, right?
Are you sure you
Tuala
wanted
had that
this
little
week?
goatee. He had the
Oh.
goatee, do you remember? Back in the day?
Yes,
He got
he did.
the Meso's on this. This is good from Meso. And Ari Tuala is Jesse Arthur's in cheap disguise. Have you seen Arthur's in recent weeks? Yeah, Arthur's was dropped because put it this way, if Khan Pereira was dropped for bad defending, and Meso, you're on this, mate. Both have joined the Hot Boy Club as mentioned by the Miso, so I'm with you. Tuala, he may not play the game at a level you're a fan of, Todza, but he's bringing the sexy back all year. Good from you, mate.
Keep it away from my Warriors, mate.
Rivalry also added, I did miss this one, apologies. Slater's taken the high ball with his boot studs out. Yeah, he did do that a lot too.
He did
Very clean player,
on the reg.
Billy Slater.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why he's better than Tedesco because he's so clean.
All right. So look, you're not probably starting Rinakama or Tuala in this matchup, are you, gents?
No.
I don't think the Roosters are that good defensively, though. One of them will score a try.
It'll be Jacob Carraz.
Maybe. Can you start with any confidence, Lockie Galvin?
Ugh, I'm gonna have to. It's not a great start though. Like he's been, unless he hits like major attack and upside, like line break tries or a huge amount of line breaks, it's been really tough to start since he's been coming back. But I mean, I will be firing him up in my flex this week against the Roosters. They haven't been overly great. They're still letting a few points for the Dolphins. So I think I would still be starting Lockie Galvin just based on talent.
I'm going to say something out loud I thought would never come out of my mouth, but I'm going to say it. Tanner Boyd, Lockie Galvin.
No, you're off your nut. You've had some bad takes, Tuala. Holy.
What do you mean bad takes? Tuala scored like 90 on the weekend. What are you on about?
Against the Warriors in the wet. Get out of here.
Okay, okay. I've been challenged here, listeners. Let's just make sure that you listen to the right advice here. Anari Tuala is averaging 60 since he came on this year for the Dogs. So just, what about that are we not a fan of, Todd? Just throwing it out there.
We'll just forget everything you did at the Knights. Like, come on, he played with Dogs.
Just purely going with, he's averaging 53 and he's averaged 58 in the last 5. Mr. Tuala on the wing.
Lockie Galvin versus Tanner Boyd, I don't even think is an absolute. I think that's just unbelievable.
For the record, listeners, I'll take Tanner Boyd. I'll go the floor. I think Lockie Galvin's floor in this game is atrociously low. Stupidly low. It could be terrible. He could also come out and brain 90, so listen to the boys, all right?
Holy.
And look, rivalry is on you tonight. Toddy's triggered, and he's laughing at you.
If you've got all the way to your finals and you've got Lockie Galvin in your team, like, good on you. There's no way. Like, I know I've got Galvin in one league too, Toddy. And I'm in the finals with him somehow. I'm not starting Tanner Boyd over him under any circumstances.
No,
like,
not a chance.
If you want to do that, you play SuperCoach a different way than I play it because there's an upside in Galvin that Tanner Boyd is just incapable of reaching.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. Moving on.
The temptation to bring up League of Record results was right there, but I'm not going to take the low-hanging fruit because it's too easy. You're probably right. Don't listen to me. I am to speak honestly for you here. Lockie Galvin does terrify me a little bit. I genuinely like.
What's that got to do with the League of Record results, though? This is like a completely different conversation.
Oh, there's a pretty easy link there. Pretty easy link, but it's all right. About playing the game a certain way or something, you know.
Yep.
Tanner Boyd is a floor guy. I think in that matchup, Lockie Galvin, what would you say his floor is in that matchup? Like, honestly, for both of you, if I had to say a number against the Roosters, particularly if it is a tight matchup, is his tackle floor, it doesn't seem to be that good compared to, like, your DCEs and stuff. That's what worries me.
So what's your number?
27?
It's probably a fair floor, but like, yeah, I think there's a lot more into Galvin's game. Like, that's the floor, yes, but the upside is also you're like 90 if things break right for him. So, like, is he more likely to hit the floor than the upside? Yeah, but I mean, like, Tanner Boyd's very safe to me, and I'm probably not going to play the safe game there.
Yeah, I agree. I think matchup as well. If you need to try and hit some upside, you can bring it in. But yeah, start your Lockie Galvin and pray, I think. I'd also check really closely about the injury report going in because he was struggling to even start last week. So maybe just see how he's pulled up as well in reports. That's really it, I think. There's no other marginal starts here for me, lads. Like Bailey Hayward with Reed Marnie on the bench. I don't think we're going there. I got nothing there. Captain Rivalry's on fire tonight.
Captain Rivalry's is needling me here.
Is it the right time to bring up Davey Fifi? There's never a wrong time to bring up Fifi with this group, mate. I still want to start him, and he's injured. We love a bit of big.
Give him 20, Des.
Give him the ball. Okay, Sharks v Titans. This is why you have your Sharks, because you're trying to get a win this week, but you're not going to have them next week because of their poorly timed bye. So the gift, and then the pain. Britt Nickera, boys, obviously went and did himself a silly, has track record, very easy that he got wiped out for the rest of the regular season. In comes Billy Burns, who has done a job. Unless I've misread this, is pretty much a lock to play 80 minutes. How does he shape up versus, say, Hamish Stewart, please, Tozza?
I would definitely want Billy Burns. We've seen in 80-minute roles, Billy Burns has been really good and hit a bit of upside. I think his floor is probably pretty similar to Hamish Stewart. I just think he has way more upside.
Yep. I like him, mate. I think he's a good in. He's a really good in this week. And given he plays the rest of the season as well, with the exception, obviously, that bye next week, he could be a very good third 2RF, especially if you've just, lost your troops. Aside from that, I'm not seeing much here. Mweni Hiroti, though. Simo, pretty straightforward, mate. If you had one of those good players that we talked about earlier that are in really tough matchups, does Mweni Hiroti, with his pretty good track record this year and an elite matchup, like this is exactly what you got him for or pick him up for, could he potentially move the needle for you?
He would. The matchup's too good. Like, it's all those borderline guys that we talked about there, the Jenkins, the Andersons. Yeah, look, there's a bit like Tawala. Let's throw him in there. Why not? Like we've talked about him. Like, Hiroti's in a position here where he's a much better start, just given the matchup, and hopefully he's come back fit. Like that's the knock on Hiroti is that like he has had a knee issue, but obviously he's been named, so you assume that he's good to go. And if that's the case, you'd fire him up.
Yep. I also wanted to bring up Teague Wilton and that penalty try that was awarded on the weekend. Just quickly, for the good of the game, I certainly understand that Brian Torall won in Origin against Coates because he wasn't anywhere near the ball when that happened. He literally just grabbed him around the waist. I had no problem with that as a penalty try. This one, I feel like if you are somewhere near the ball with your hands when the ball goes up, the other guy outpoints you, and you've made your eyes on the ball, legitimate attempt, and then you wrap and hold them up. I'm probably even okay with it being a penalty on the 10-meter line, maybe, or a scrum, but I don't think you can penalty try that, surely.
Yeah, I hate it. Ridiculous. I hate
it. Are we good with my analysis of the Torall one? That's different because he didn't even try and contest and then just grabbed him around the waist and tried to throw him out. I think that's dangerous and could go very wrong if someone got tipped. Essentially, are we okay with that?
Yeah, you got to play the ball. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The one on the weekend, the Teague Wilton one, like you could see that it was a clear contest for the ball that turned into like he lost the contest, so he's tried to hold him up. Like that's where it stemmed from. Like to give that a penalty try, I thought was ridiculous. But
yeah, I think so too. Yeah. All right,
we've gone too far.
Similar to It was similar to Jaden Campbell, the gate, trainer gate that's been going on. I thought the one in the Cowboys game was funny as shit, and now he shouldn't be there past the third tackle, but he was a long way outside the play, and some of the worst ball handling you've ever seen hit him in the bunda, which was just fantastic. Or the Shaminda as the Shaminda Vars as Vossi. That's one of Vossi's best for a while. And he cracked himself up. That one, I think you could just say, "Oi, mate, come on! Like, just be careful. Third tackle on, you're supposed to be nowhere near it." But that one, I think the one in front of the you should be a penalty in front of the post. You get a second conversion. So, we talked about it last week, and I think that's what we sort of landed on unofficially. You get your first shot at goal, but then you actually get one from in front of goal. It's almost like a penalty try, double conversion moment. That was our thoughts.
This was the training you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry, the Campbell one from last week. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I think just kick from in front, like honestly.
Or just move the initial kick.
Yeah, that's what I'd have done.
Yeah, okay. I kind of like the idea. You score the try out wide, you have a crack, you then get the extra, like the penalty. Make it so obvious to the other team that is not a tactic they should do. You do that one time, Simo, it never happens in the history of the NRL ever again.
No, your one's probably more harsh and probably more deserved because, like, that's more impactful than a penalty. Like that should be equal to a penalty try. Is what I'm trying to get at here. Like it's.
Good stuff. Yep.
Makes sense, yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yep. Beautiful. Toby Rudolph to start. I think there's just too much on the pine there. Tommy Hazelton, Hammond Nweli, who actually scored a try on the weekend. That's crazy. Over to the Titans. At Shark Park, boys, this is a very tough matchup. Defensive, like they muscle up at Shark Park and make it very hard for outside backs to score points. So Phillips Army's back in, missed the absolute no-brainer matchup last week. Painful. Jalen DeGroot scored a try. Tony Francis is in. No Khan Pereira this week. Boys, I'm inclined to not want to start anyone outside of Jaden Campbell, 7 down. You can start Brimo if you so want, but you've got Kinney loitering on the extended bench as well. It does not reek of a good matchup to me. Can either of you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with that, mate. But I think I'd still be firing up AJ Brimson. I think it'll be a tough start, but I think he does enough to get you a solid enough base. Yeah. Gary Kinney on the bench is a bit interesting. I heard he was playing Q Cup last week. I think he played half. Yeah. So I picked him up in our League of Record just in case. But yeah, interesting to see him back because he wasn't scheduled to be back at all. So really a big watch there. But I don't think he comes in this week anyway.
It blows my mind that they're even considering him playing NRL this year. Like they are what favourites for the Spoon as we speak right now. Like that's where they're at.
Yep.
Yeah, like there's nothing for them to gain. Like they've signed into a long-term deal only earlier this year. Obviously, it's a neck injury. We've seen necks be like one of the worst injuries the players can have. Obviously, people do come past it. Like, look at Peyton Manning, for example. But, like, it does happen. But for them to be running him out in the NRL would be wild to me. Like, I mean, if he's good enough to play health-wise, then fair enough. But, I mean, I'd be colored shocked if he does end up running out.
Beautiful segue into Indianapolis Colts legend. We have a legend in our midst. Andrew Luck has joined the podcast. Welcome, Andrew. It's a shame that you didn't get protected by your O-line, but here you are, and I hope you've had a good retirement, sir. Welcome aboard, mate. Having a bit of fun with you tonight. Hey, fellas, love your work. Love yours too, mate. I'm in a 12-man league looking for a high upside guy to take a swing at. Now, we haven't mentioned either of these three, but I've got a number one with a bullet here. Do you like any of Karapani, Labert, or Joash Papali? Actually, he's Joash Papali, my apologies, off the waivers this week. I was going to say number one with a bullet, but I noticed Labert is kicking and it is against the Knights. So you've got two wonderful options here in Karapani or Labert. Todd, that's close.
I mean, I'm on the Joash, to be perfectly honest. Up against Souths this week?
Souths as well. So all three. Is Joash only fullback eligible though?
Yes, he is.
So that might come into play. I did have them split there, but that's a really good shout as well, Todd. If position doesn't matter, Joe Ash could go nuts. I mean, against the Finns, I'm pretty excited to start Karapani, to be honest. And Zach Labert goal kicking against the Knights. 3 spectacular options, gentlemen.
I probably had Karapani the third one down. I just don't think that the Broncos are going to go. Like, I know they're up against a pretty depleted Finns, but big changes this week for the Bronx. Like, I would be putting Karapani as the last one there. I'd have Labour second and Joe Ash as number 1.
I'll put Karapani in first. I still think the left-hand side attack for the Bronx with Reece Walsh will still hum nicely. I still think you're looking at it. I'm feeling good about at least one line break try. So, Simo, your order, mate?
Mate, Toddy, we are on the same wavelength tonight.
Scary.
Everything Toddy said, I couldn't agree with more. Joe Ash, number 1. Labert kicking 2. Karapani. Yeah, Karapani, he has been good, but yeah, like Toddy said, there's something there. Like maybe it's just not going to click this week. I don't know. The Broncos attack, it's not a foregone conclusion as we saw last week. So yeah, they're all good, Matt. You probably can't go wrong with any of them. But yeah, when we're going to nitpick like this, I'd go Joe Ash number 1.
I'm telling you, boys, you're not seeing the ambush by the Knights. They're in all sorts of trouble here, the Cowboys. Big Kiwi Nick, our Korean celebrity. Hello, sir. Yo, Andy, chuck us a sign.
No gang signs in this chat. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here with your bad juju. We mentioned earlier that Sam Verrills, if he's out there, is a pretty obvious hooker number 1 claim for this week. He's been outstanding, and he's got 80 minutes locked in with that bench. And Chrissy Randall, the world's best back rower, keeps on keeping on. Big Tino is back, which is massive for owners. Hopefully you hung on. Easy start to patch up your 2RF, which I will have to do. Thanks, Britton Nickera, or he comes into your FRF as one of the top options. So
how much does the pay that guy?
If they're going to make him the marquee, that's a 1.45 waiting to happen.
Oh, geez, I think it's even more.
You're just going to build a team around him with the salary cap going up as well, relative. I actually get it. I know he's not a half, and I normally would say no, but he is your talisman. Like, can you imagine him going over there, how much he bleeds for the jersey from day one? It's crazy. That's the type of player this guy is. So you build a team around him. He's young enough. Injury record is a little spotty for my taste for spending that much money. Like, he has, call it bad luck perhaps, but just a little concern.
Boy, when you play 80 minutes like that for Titans and have no backup, like you're allowed to be injured for a couple of weeks, hey?
I don't disagree. I'm a big Tino fan. You won't get bigger. He's a superstar. He's a superstar in the forwards. He is. He'll be a cult figure. They'll get behind it. There'll be wigs. There's not enough wigs at Titans game. Where are they doing
I'd love to see some more Tino wigs. Get them going.
I don't know about these Gold Coast fans, mate. I'm sure we've got Gold Coast listeners. I love, as you know, actually, you guys may not have heard. I really enjoy going to Robina Stadium. It's one of my favorite. Yeah, I'm with you, Todd. That could be a spectacular start, mate. I really like it. Him and Campbell, just take him from the Titans, and you've got a good base.
Yeah.
And if Joash Papali's not signed up for a long period of time, whack him in fullback while you're at it. Get on the Perth Bears.
Why not?
G'day, Perth Bears. That's really it for that team. We'll go on to the Bronx. Reece Walsh owners. It's been a weird old season. You got a pretty good matchup here. And most likely the goal kicking, or will Katoni take it? Given the knee injury to Reece Walsh.
I think Katoni nudges them.
I think you might be right, Todd. Just because without the knee injury, I think it's definitely Walsh, who has a very good record as a goal kicker in the NRL. But I reckon Simo, is he probably right?
Yeah. I mean, Katoni's not too bad of a kicker, so you probably are on the money here, boys.
We also saw last week, Mariner picked up the goal kicking as opposed to Reece Walsh, if I'm not. I think he kicked. I'm pretty sure of it, actually.
Dean Mariner.
Did he actually?
You might add one late.
I think
he might add one late. I think you're right.
I saw him kick one. Oh, no, Reynolds kicked one. When did I see Dean Mariner kick?
Anyway. In your dreams, maybe, mate. Just looking at those big quads and got you out.
It would be pretty good to see.
Any idea what side Hunt lands on? So he, just trying to remember back to his St. George days, wasn't he primarily a left side? He sat on the left so he could open up to kick right-footed, downfield primarily. I think that's right, isn't it, Simo?
No, he played right, Drags.
Did he?
He was on Lomax's side.
Humblest apologies. So who?
Yeah,
Because
he
is that
was
why his
Sua.
in-game kicking was so rough?
Sure, yeah. Right side for right kicker. Old Bunty.
Did you like my analysis there? I was like, he must have, and then it's like, nah, he was a terrible in-game kicker at the Dragons for like 7 years or whatever. Anyway,
He played both sides, Ben Hunt, really, but
yeah, okay.
he parked himself on the right most of the time.
Billy Walters at hooker has to be mentioned. Matchup could be great, and the man has a knack for finding upside. To be fair, he actually, as we know, has played plenty of halves in his career here. If you weren't able to get your hands on Verrills, it is a relevant question. Billy Walters versus Wade Egan. I don't think that's as crazy a question as it sounds.
It's Wade Egan by the country mile.
Interesting.
It is. Yeah, it still is, but doesn't mean that Walters isn't a bad pickup in deep leagues, though, is it? Like, he could be okay because he's got the duel, which is all right.
Right feeding Sewer at the Drags. Yes, that's spot on with Simo's analysis. Don't listen to me about which side people play, and it's not my strength. Simo's the goat at that. Now, Josiah Karapati, we may have said he was third in the options presented earlier, but I tell you what, you're still spending a waiver to pick him up, though.
How high are you spending? Are you spending your one on Josiah Karapati this week?
Spending your one, it's super dependent. They have a good run home too. There's a Knights match coming up as well. They've got a really good run. Especially if you're needy at CTW for any reason. So if you're relying on anyone from the Raiders, or you've lost someone, or you've got your marginal matchups like Simo mentioned earlier, I'd be very comfortable starting Karapani and spending a claim to get a win this week.
Yes,
very comfortable. Yeah. The rest of it, Jack Kazeski. Oof. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not it. That is so far from it.
Gee, the fact that like early on during the season, Madge came out and said he's beaten bloody what's his face, our man. What's your man's name? Piakura to the spot. Like, we don't rate Piakura, but boy howdy, that was a shock then. And he is just showing exactly what we thought.
Yep, he's not it. Cal's added, any love for your man, Toddy Ricky? Has let me down every time I've owned, but maybe Hunt feeds him finally. Well, that's a solid no from me, old son.
Man, I'm all about Jordan Ricky. I think he's a decent 3-4 2RF. I still remain. Mate, let me read out.
Did you say a decent 4?
Decent, mate.
That is the best. Simo, clip
guy.
that. He's a decent 4, was just said.
You've never made a mistake on this podcast.
He's
Get
decent 3 or 4.
Let me read out his scores since round 17. 55, 58, 57. He had a 47 there. Ooh, 58, 62. Mate, he hasn't let you down in the last 8 weeks.
Starting with confidence then, mate. Start Jack Kazeski and start Jack House from the bench. That's how confident I am in Jordan Ricky. Well done.
Start Jack House off the bench.
You were back in Tuala. You're giving me shit for back in Ricky. Get out of here with that.
When Ricky comes back and scores more than 60 points, mate, I'll be waiting. All right.
He's a good guy.
He's actually, real life. He's actually a very good defensive back row.
He's in the Hot Boy 13.
I was going to say, if Tuali's in the Hot Boy club, then what's
no? What? No, not even close. Trust me. It's all in the eyes for
Harry. He doesn't make the Hot Boy team.
Not according to the misso, mate. She likes some petite. Corey Bakes and Tyson Smoothie.
Oh, you don't think.
They're gonna destroy each other's minutes. Oh dear. Oh dear. Corey Pakes and Tyson Smoothie. Nothing to see there. Just like this podcast. Moving right
Corey
along.
Pakes is quite petite.
He is.
Big. Oh my god.
To the Finns. Tough sledding last week, but one Tavita Nafahu. You can't even look at Todd right now. The kid can finish, right? he did start on the wing last week with Amarillo. We know the left side winger for the Finns is absolute money for Jeremy Rope. Tonzo, what are your thoughts on Tavita Navarro?
Yeah, he's not a fire up this week, mate. Unfortunately, looks the goods, one for the future, but I wouldn't be firing him up this week.
What did you say that he's petite, Toddy?
Oh, jeepers, holy. That'll do me.
It's good stuff. Good, solid stuff. Thank you to our listeners who battled on through with us tonight. Tavita Nafa'u, just with the run home as well, buys out of the way and everything, Simo. I'm actually quite interested as a low-end claim for CTW with upside. I love the left winger for the Finns, even in garbage time matchups, mate. I think he'll get his chances.
Yeah, low-end claim's fair. I think not much more than that.
Yep, can live with it. The beautifully named Orblix Tawa. He's in there to start because of the amount of attrition in the forwards for this poor team. Like, is anyone left? Seriously. Like, I'm delighted, by the way, Kurt Donahue. That was an accident. That head clash was completely accidental. Like, it wasn't even the careless. It honestly wasn't the careless one. He just got knocked off kilter by his own player, and it just turned into a head clash. So good on him for being. And how tough is his head, by the way? Jesus.
How tough is he? He was up for that.
Great.
Man. Just no back and set to Spencer. I'm all about Kurt Donahue.
I think he's
a half.
They have so many of those type players when they're fully fit. Yeah, you're tough.
Tommy Gilbert, Fleckler back next year. They're tough, dude.
You're missing Diesel, Mister. I would like to break people's everything.
Yeah, that guy's big.
Are we back on a week to trust JMK here, Simo? Looking at that bench, I say yes.
Yeah, the only thing is that Donahue does spell him sometimes. So even when we have a good-looking bench for him, we still aren't fully out of the woods on the 80 minutes. But, like, the worst case is he gets, 65? Because he has been missing sort of 10 minutes here and there, maybe 15 at worst. So, I think we're back on for JMK this week, is my gut feel. But, yeah, don't be shocked if he does pump out, 70 minutes instead of 80.
Yep, I'm fine with that. I think the matchup's okay here. Keely and Finifuyaki, nothing, and Lemuelo's had his value completely destroyed. Josh Kerr likely going back home to the Dragons, being the best bench player in the league this year. He's been so good.
Where's he fit in there? Like, they've got so many young guns.
Just give him an actual 40-minute role. He is super underrated, and those levers for offloading, I think, is an untapped bit of talent. I think he's been outstanding this year. Well, I mean, Clemmer moving on and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, true. Clemmer is moving on. Yeah.
Toddy's just, I can see in your head, Toddy, you're like, he's just going to fit in the same place RFM fit in, which is left, right out.
Oh, left, right out.
Oh, yes.
They got the Catchment boys. You got Hame Saleh's back now, who's definitely better than him. You got Egan, Stewart. They just got too many mouths to feed there. I just don't know. I don't understand the Joshy Kerr signing, to be honest. But look, depth.
You need size impact. I think what we've seen with Canberra, and I've gone on about it probably too much, and I think the Roosters with their fully fit team is that punch power is huge in this modern NRL to come on and just really bust them up the middle, sort of as they tire. I think it's almost back to that old style, but it's that athletic big. And I think Josh Kerr, to his credit, he must be in good nick. He offers plenty of that. So I get it, mate. There's a lot of mouths to feed, but I think he could be all right. I think JDB's off too, remember?
True, JDB is off. He's off. That's crazy to me. I thought he'd finish his career there, but and how does he not enhance their team either? Probably the money, I guess.
Fair. Bunnies v Eels. Now, this is a matchup we have to follow very, very closely because both teams, I think Cowboys' inept attack is really the only reason there was that many points only conceded by Para. They're not great. They have found a bit in the middle, though. Hopgood has really found a role here in the middle, has kind of hurt Junior Barlow. Junior's not an absolute automatic start all of a sudden. He's gone through one of those low streaks that he does. So when he gets cold, he gets real cold, and he's not offloading again.
No, it's really funny. I saw him randomly on waivers in one of the leagues I was in the other day, and I was like, holy crap, Junior Paulo on waivers. In my head, I thought, this guy needs to be owned. And then I went and had a good look at his stats, and I saw what you was just saying. He's really dropped off of late to the point where I don't even think I picked him up at the end of it. So, I was happy to let him be. And I can't really say that I feel that bad about it either. He hasn't really done that much lately. I think he's definitely not a start at the moment, Paulo. So, yeah, one of those ones, if you do own him, I'd be benching him until further notice.
It's an interesting one, Simo, because he's still he's hitting an okay floor. Was it 59, 43, 47, and 55, and the minutes are good. I could say in this matchup there is a red hot chance Parra do run riot though, so maybe he'll just get it. He might just get on a roll and start flopping the ball around. But the risk is if Parra get up early, he'll probably won't pull out the offload. So I'm with you, mate. It's a risky-ish start with an okay floor. Just worth a mention, though. Hopgood, to be perfectly honest, he's found the best form of the season. He's gone the other way. He started offloading the ball, and he played fantastic on the weekend. Probably best game he's played in terms of that meat and potatoes. I think he's a pretty easy third 2RF start this week, Todd.
Yeah, roger that, mate. I'm all in agreement with you there, mate. I think you nailed that one. Hopgood, definitely start him.
Yep. And the question here from our man, Phoenix Star. Hopgood versus Hamish Stewart for this week.
Ooh, I like it. Hopgood this week.
Yep. Matchup.
Around the Hopgoods.
Yep. Very good. Thank you, Phoenix. Great contribution. I'll just bring the team back up. Sorry, I was looking in the old SuperCoach itself. Now, Dylan Brown has to be raised here given the matchup.
Come on now.
Can we? No good. Can't do it.
He barely got the ball last week. Every time he got the ball, he tried a left foot step and just got smoked. No way.
Okay. I think there's a potential low-end start here if you're struggling and you say you're in a deeper league and you had Fogarty or you've had Hughes and you haven't been able to replace it properly. I think this matchup is the rare one you could probably get away with starting him if you needed to. There is a red hot chance he hits some upside here. I'm not saying go out and burn a massive waiver or he should be a number one, but I think he's an option you could look at. It's a rare time you could start Will Penasini in a deeper league as well, again, just because of the matchup. And Josh Adokar is your absolute easy start that normally is on that sort of, what is he, 4th, 5th bubble kind of thing. He's an easy start this week as well.
Yeah, Roger. I would start Boyd, Wishart, King Tongia all ahead of Dylan Brown this week.
King Tongia, I think that's where you're starting to get mighty close. Mighty close, given the matchup for King Tongia. But fair, mate. That's probably a safer play.
I mean, that's where Dylan Brown's fallen to. So, yeah, that's the fact that he's even in this discussion, far out.
Yep.
Yeah, he looks shocking.
It's rough.
Yeah. First, he's not a centre.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Starve the ball, not a centre.
Now, a pretty big moment here, boys, involving this back row rotation. So it's only got better for Hopgood because unfortunately Charlie Geimer was the one to get his minutes chopped up by Tuolangi, making both of them non-starters. Dodzer, I hated being on the money with that one, mate. I didn't want to be because I was with you on Charlie, but unfortunately murdered. So that's been murdered. Jackie Williams was outstanding again on the weekend.
He's been good this year.
He's just a really good football player. Very interesting one going into drafts next year. So, Luca Moretti, boys, he's actually a pretty good real-life player, but he's going to get his minutes chopped up by Dillbags. No good, right?
No good.
No good.
Or Dylan Walker.
The other Dillbags, mate. What are you talking about?
Look at, judging by Instagram, there's only one Dillbags.
That's fair. Isaiah Yongi is on the extended bench. Similar advice we gave you to Tui Pelotu, Connor Tracy. Get him in there. Could give you an option on the run home. If he somehow gets up for this matchup, all bets are off for Joe Ash. Would Joe Ash get another crack at the 6, do you think, Simo? If that actually happens? He's got to be in there, doesn't he? Simo looks to be on froze mode, so we'll wait for him to come back.
So I'm with it, mate. I think that he'll move into the 6 if Yongi was to come back. I think their roles is literally looking to the future. They've got nothing to lose, and they've got nothing to gain with playing Dean Hawkins.
Yep, and you could still start either of them. You start Yongi, and you'd also start, even though Joash did struggle at 6 in the last one, if Yongi comes back, you could start Joash in this one against this team. Bunnies, Jai Gray is probably okay as a flourish start just because it is para. Big Trell did pretty well, to be honest, in terms of playing centers. Probably okay to start again. I don't think I'm super excited. Simo, choice this week with Gray and Mitchell, literally a coin flip last week. is it more obvious this, or is it? I think they're both likely to have the same output.
Yeah, I just think it's a week by week thing. Like, I'm
It is, yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say like, I mean, obviously Latrell brained Gray last week, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a lock to happen again this week. That Latrell will just destroy Jai Gray. Like, when you look at the amount of runs Gray has versus Latrell, like Latrell's obviously living off the attacking stats there without the goal kicking, which definitely hurts Latrell. So, yeah, I mean, if you own both Gray and Latrell, you're probably going to start Latrell because you got it wrong last week.
Yep.
But and as we know, that's usually when it's be Gray's turn to have a good game. So it's a tough spot if you've got that, which I do in a couple of leagues. But my sort of thoughts is like I just think Jai Gray's got more predictable score in him. But yeah, it's one of those ones that you're probably going to get wrong more than you get right.
Yep, I'm with you. I think, again, if you're going to... We've sided with upside in finals here, listeners, so I think Latrell, just for the upside, what he can offer you, I think is a fair play. If you got Jai Gray, though, very startable if he's your only option. The rest of it, boys, I'll be honest, I'm not getting excited about anything, but a floor play of Jai Arrow is your FRF2, and Tallis Duncan back where he should be on the edge, playing some very good football. He's going to be a very exciting one going into next year's drafts, I think. He's finally got up to that standard.
Any love for Bentley Harpy? Man, he can strike that ball pretty straight, can't he? Holy.
Not for me.
Not for you, outside Latrell? It was interesting. I think he's got seated up and fullback eligibility, so there might be some people out there that want to have a play on him. But yeah, not crazy good. Just strikes the ball well. I liked it.
That's actually a really good shout, Todd. He probably should come into play. Matchup's not terrible. I somehow think Parra will be too good here still. So it's that's an okay. That's okay.
Bentley Harpy, Toddy, Bentley Harpy's kicked a lot of goals in New South Wales Cup over the last couple of years. So
yeah.
You can tell. So, yeah, he's been good.
Is he potentially, with Johnson re-signing, mate, Simo, is he a chance then of keeping your man Munro out? If Munro's fit, because he's the young hotness, right?
Yeah.
Fully fit then, what is their plan, do you reckon?
Ed Corsi.
Oh no, there's one the Warriors lost.
Okay. If this is somehow another Ellie Katoa, I will eat my hat. It can't be, right?
Holy.
Big Ed Corsi becomes a bloody rep level winger overnight for leaving the Wars. Surely not.
Holy.
Okay. We'll move on down.
Sunday.
I think is going to be a pretty damn big matchup. Well, the two matchups on Sunday. You kind of really want to have pieces of this, boys, because if you had to sit through these matchups without a part, you're going to be squeaky bum time, it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Starting with Manly, the return of Lehigh, obviously low-hanging fruit. If he's out there, go grab him. We were saying pre-potty, I actually really prefer him on a wing for Supercoach at this stage of his career. I think he's a red-hot chance of hitting more upside personally. Ruben Garrick, I mean, we thought he'd be an absolute behemoth on the wing. It hasn't really turned out that way. Welcome back to the centres and hopefully a lot of goals to be kicked here. Tigers are decent at the moment. Maybe they're not as much of a pushover, but defensively, if this is in the dry, surely this is going to work. Start Cooler. God, I hate always asking this question. Start Jason Saab. Simo, do we start Jason Saab? What do you think? Great question.
Flip a coin. If it is in the dry and it's like, it's dry track, should be plenty of points. I think Saab. I lean start, but far out. How can you ever be confident?
So risky. Meso just getting in with the Munro equation. Munro needs to get a Carraz streak and be able to play centre. He's got the size. Yeah, that's probably a better long-term option with the uncertainty around Campbell Graham, I think is fair to say. Now, this is the one we've all been waiting for, folks. The revenge game to end all revenge games. Luke Brooks against his former Chargers in a barbecue, Tozo. What do you got for us?
Yeah, Luke Brooks. Probably will get his this week, don't you reckon? Old Lukey Brooks.
He probably finds his way to somewhere between 52 and 56 points. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Jazz. Speaking of jazz hands, another beautiful segue. Simo, I know you see what I see, mate. Talk it up. Come on. This is our boy. This is his time. Jazz Tavanga.
We've been here, 3 times this year with Jazz, and whenever Gerbo's been out, Jazz has been really good the week after. And
Yep.
Look, I think he's a waiver. There's no way around that. Like, he's been that good
100% is.
when he's played lock. It just sucks that the Manly teams just. I was mentioning to one of my mates on the weekend, like some of the players they had, like they were rolling out Waddell, they were rolling out, obviously
Waddell.
Nathan Brown, just Matty Lodge, just
Chicum.
yeah, the Chicum got a run. That's right. Like, it was just brutal. Obviously, Jazz is in there. It's just Dad's army in around like
it's a misfit bunch, isn't it? Holy.
Yeah. Like, I said to him, like, there might be like one guy. Sorry, no, there was two guys in their prime, Kohler and Garrick, and the rest of them were just like well past their best, well past. Yeah, Manly's team's to be desired, but I mean, Jazz has shown that like it works for him because.
What Simo's actually saying there is that the tackle upside
he gets minutes when he's playing
Jazz,
lock, so I'm all about him.
It's the text going wonderfully here. Jazz Tavaga can tackle a lot, is what Simo, I'm sure, said, listeners. So I'm with it. Yeah, few tech difficulties here, Simo. So that's all right. Just checking, will Simpkin play 80 minutes in this with this bench, Tots?
Yeah, it looks likely because Tommy Talau's are going to spell him through the middle. Looks like Jazz could easily take a couple of minutes there, I guess, with like a Bullymore coming on and playing that middle role. But you would think he's getting 65 plus here and probably looking towards an 80.
Love a bit of Jazz then as a waiver. Good shout, Simo, and loved your analysis, mate. Lols. Cowboys versus the Knights. It's another matchup that looks like points galore, as we already said.
We discuss the Tigers, or no? He's going to.
No, we can. I just got distracted by the analysis that just hit me deep from Simo. Tigers, Taylor May back from a concussion, Stafford Toa in the centres. Can we get around any of this back line to start then, Tots?
Yeah, I'm all about Stafford Toa and Taylor May this week. I think they can really do some damage here. It will be a dry track in Sydney. I just looked it up. It'll be a dry track Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So really exciting. I think you can fire up Taylor May. Skelton is an interesting one. I'm not too sure if you would be firing him up, but I think I could definitely see him getting over for one and doing enough. Sonny Taruva is an interesting one, mate. I don't think I would be firing up Taruva this week, but yeah, I would be starting those other guys.
I could live with Skelton as a fourth, Toa and May. They're all like fourth options if they're on your team or if you need one for me. I'm happy enough. Again, I don't think Manly's defense is all that much chop. Adam Dewey for me. Yeah, I really like when he comes into the halves. He tends to do things for SuperCoach, so I'm about starting him as well. I think that's a pretty easy one for me. The other big one for me, it's great to talk about a back row player who is not Sam Weller. Sione Fainu playing on an edge. I can't imagine any universe it's anywhere near 80 minutes, but if he got 55 on an edge with his powerful style against that back row, there's some upside to be had.
Before the bye, didn't he? I think he scored pretty well. I believe something like a 50 maybe. He might have gone over for a meat pie, but in limited minutes. This looking at like a 55 to 65 minute roll here. I'm actually all about it too, mate. I like what you said there. I think Sione Fainu can definitely do something.
He is pretty talented. Twal, a decent floor play as well. All right, there you go. You got your Tigers in, mate. Happy with that?
Let it go, Tyrrell. Go.
Beautiful. Over to the Cowboys and Knights, the one you've all been waiting for. I'll stop saying that. You've got Semi Valame, did some good things. Also completely lost sight of the ball at one point, which was kind of funny to watch. Haven't really seen an NRL player do that for a long time. Just like spun on the spot, the ball bounced over there somewhere. That was awesome. I love a bit of Semi Valame. May have got stuck on the treadmill though on a breakaway as well. Not sure what happened to his speed while he hasn't played, but he's got power. We'll go with that.
He's big, strong.
You can start him in this matchup.
Yeah.
No problem with starting a winger in this matchup. You can start Braden Burns in this matchup. You can start your Purgeon. You can start your goal-kicking Zach Labert. For Scott Drinkwater truthers, it's a cruel blow going into this matchup, big time, that he's not goal-kicking. Dearden, It's huge.
Massive.
Dearden showing his floor again on the weekend. I'll never be a Tom Dearden guy in Supercoach. Just doesn't do it for me. Too many games like that. Way too many games like that. Jake Clifford, though, in this matchup, for those that are needy in the halves, got to bring him up. He's been okay.
Where do you have him ranked in that sort of Tanner Boyd, Hunt, Wishart area? I think he's the last of that, in my opinion. But he's put together 3 scores of 60 plus.
I start him over Wishart myself.
Yeah, the matchup.
I think I do, mate. It's too good in Townsville. But it's scary. Like if you're starting him in a final, you're pretty terrified because you know his reputation. But he's been okay this year.
Yeah, tough one. Simo, what would you do there? Would you start Wishart or would you start Jake Clifford?
I would start. Oh, that's a really good question. I'd probably start Clifford. Yeah, don't feel great about it.
Bad game 40, good game 60 kind of thing.
This is a great question from Cal, and it's sort of coming off the really poor output of both Nene and Dearden last week, who just absolutely shat the bed. I think you can get back on Nene as a third with upside, and you can obviously get back on Dearden as well this week. But Nene also showing that he's too much of a floor player for me to be a reliable every week start. It's too risky. He's frustrating. He's a great guy to pivot in for matchups like this, to be honest, boys.
Yeah, he's definitely every chance getting some upside here. So, but yeah, I thought that last week against bloody Eels too. So he flunked out. So interesting one. Nanai floats in and out of games too much.
He does. He really does.
He looks like the best back row in the game.
Looks outstanding. Just not happening. Over to my Knights. Connor Vitano. You can do better. You can do better. I don't think you want to be mucking around with that at this stage of the season. Matchup's probably okay. You're going to start Best and Gagai. You're probably starting Dom Young, and I don't know. For me, there are better matchups than Marju this week, personally. And it's Jake Arthur and Jack Cogger is the worst NRL combination that we've seen. It's on par with that Titans one from last year, Simo, for me, as the worst starting halves combo that I've seen in the NRL.
Well, when the Titans had Chris Randall in the halves with
Chris Randall in the halves, yeah.
Wasn't there's 2 hookers in the halves, right?
Yeah,
Verrills
and Randall.
I got a bit more excited about those 2 than I do these 2. This is as bad as it gets. I can't believe I've seen it twice in a row. How is that possible?
I heard on a podcast today, shut up bloke, this is their 11th combination of halves this year for the Knights.
And they've arrived at their worst. Like, how does starting Jake Arthur now prepare us for the future in any way, shape, or form? Like, it's bonkers to me. Captain Rivalry's doing it tough. He's lost A-Ray and Clifford comes in. Good luck, old son. Phoenix Star, thoughts on the new fullback for the Knights? Timo, have you got any news on him, this youngster, mate?
I don't have a lot. I know that he's been playing a fair bit of New South Wales Cup at fullback for Newcastle. So obviously they've gone with more of a specialist fullback there. Don't know a hell of a lot about him, though, to be quite honest. I'd probably lean kind of like what you said, Redfield. I think it is too late in the year to be worrying too much about these sort of guys because it could easily change next week. But
yeah, I think so too.
16 games, 6 try assists, 4 line breaks, 33 tackle breaks. Like those are just some stats. 72%. Yeah, he's got a few tries, but nothing too crazy. He does kick goals though, but he won't in this team with Gagai.
Sharpshooter Gagai.
Yeah. Does kick goals.
Brian Kelly. Yep.
Yeah. So you never know, you might get the goal kicking here.
So, my good shout to you 2 weeks ago, mate, that you like the cut of Jermaine McEwen's jib. I actually do too. I think he looks pretty accomplished as a footballer. He'll get 80 minutes here. Is that enough to sneak him in there as a third 2RF?
Yeah, look, he's pumped out like pretty solid 50-point scores. Like I think he got 58 in the weekend. I think he'll continue to do that. You'd love to see a bit of upside in him eventually, but I'm happy with him as a 3. I think that's fine.
Yep. I read some commentary on a social media site that Leo Thompson's apparently been terrible this year, and I immediately stopped following that page. So just want to point that out.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I hate when people just shit on everything when it's going badly. That's when I'm just like, can you use it, have a nuanced opinion, like pay attention to everything, not just a result. Anyway, bothered me a little bit. Just want to check in with Jaden Brayley, who had a very big week, courtesy of a try assist, line break assist combo. He's playing big minutes all of a sudden. Could he be a sneaky saviour late in the year, Simo?
How many tackles did he make last week, Brayley? Because
a lot.
I know the tackles are scored differently on some apps out there. On the app I use, he had 72 tackles post game. Obviously, they include all the flops in there and things like that. Third mans. So yep. I'm hoping to hear a number in the 60s when you bring this up, Todd. Would be nice.
64.
Yeah, I like that. I like
pretty
it a lot.
Solid.
Yeah. If you can get 80 minutes and get sort of even 55 tackles, he'll be relevant. So I kind of like him as well as a sneaky play.
Verrills, Jaden Brayley, Egan then, in that order?
Jazz above all, but yeah.
Oh, good one, Simo. Jazz above all. And then the other one to factor in, he'll probably get 8 or at least 65 is JMK. So it's good options there, listeners, as well. There's like 4 really good options there. Simo, did you get that, mate? Because you were buzzing out tech.
Sorry, yeah, I've been playing up. Jazz would be above all of those for me. I don't think he was thrown in there, but Jazz is number 1, Verrills number 2, Brayley.
JMK. Brayley, JMK.
Brayley, JMK.
Yeah. So Egan a bit further down on the list in the end because of Sam Healy. Does Brayley play 70 plus, says Captain Rivalry? I believe so, mate. I think he's looking pretty good for that. Cal's almost asked for a wrap-up question, which I think is a really good one. This week's 2RF waiver comparison, Billy Burns, Ricky McEwen, or Jazz? I'm going to go Burns first because he'll have the rest of the season to his own. However, your next week's bye does potentially change your thoughts, which means if Gerbo doesn't come back, Simo, Jazz looks fantastic.
Oh, I think that's why you'd have to go Jazz and just hope that that it plays out that way. I was always going to say hope Gerbo doesn't come back, but no one's really going to hope that. You hope that things work out for Jazz in the right way, Supercoach wise. So, yeah, I'd go Jazz, McEwen for the long term.
He's struggling.
Yeah, it's struggling.
He's struggling. All good. We'll wrap it up. We're getting pretty close here to the end. Todd, questions from the Book of Face, please, mate.
Yes, mate. Book of Face, we've got one question from Aidan Shields. He says, keep up the great work. Love your advice. He's keeping the season alive, so that's good to hear. Love that. Number 1, should I bench Connor Watson and pick up Jazzy T or Jaden Brayley? So Connor Watson versus Jazz, your man Utah, or Brayley.
Watson has been down on form, and with that bench option as well, he's not as safe a player as he was a little while ago. It's a huge call to bench someone, but I tell you what, if I had Jazz this week, against the Tigers as well, I feel like you could start Jazz with Connor, but you don't need to. Does that make sense? Like it's still pretty close for me.
Yeah. I think that's a really close one. I think if you've got Watson, you've read him through the season. I think probably start him. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I'd go Connor Watson as well.
Yeah.
Second question here from Aiden. I've potentially lost 3 80-minute forwards. Rough. Nakora, Lecker, and Geimer. How would you rank the 2RF waivers from Billy Burns, McEwen, Stewart, and Cotter?
Isn't Lecker's in to start this week though, right?
Yeah, Lecker is in to start, but I think he's more talking about losses 80 minutes.
I think you're going to get Lecker. Lecker's back to 80 this week with Capewell out. I think that's gone very well.
I would be playing Lecker, but we're sort of ranking Burns, Ricky, McEwen, Stewart, and Cotter.
Burns.
Yeah,
Billy
Burns next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Billy Burns, I like that. That's all we got from the Book of Face, mates.
Beautiful. Phoenix just chiming in one moment. Simo, final one from me, boys, tonight. Thanks for the help. No problems. Thank you for being aboard. Hopgood or Jazz? That's a really good one. I'm Hopgood matchup specific. It's close.
Stuff it. Give me Jazz. Why not?
Yeah, boy.
It's our man, Cade Snowden. Welcome back, Cade. Hey guys, lost Capewell and Big Red by so good to get 2RF stuff. So got to grab a 2RF. Had a win for one team, 13 in a row after starting 0-10. Yes, boy, that's fantastic. Other team lost but got a second bite at the cherry. I think our 2RFs we've spoken in great detail, mate. So just get on board with one of the many options we've said, and we wish you all the best. Big Cade Snowden, love having you aboard the potty, mate. Good fella. Let us know how you go, mate.
Cade Snowden. Really good.
All right, Simo, the mighty land of X, sir.
Okay. A few of these questions are getting a bit repetitive, but with this first one, keep in mind that this particular person could choose to have Leo Thompson as an AE if he wanted to. So choose between McEwen, Burns, Stewart, or Jazz.
Burns.
Jazz.
I would.
It's not going well. I'll go to some questions. Sorry, listeners. Simo's having a few technical difficulties this evening. Cade Snowden has asked us,
I think he
Tango
will
Sami. Oh, here he is. He's back. Simo, we lost you again, mate, for quite a bit. So I'll answer this one, Simo. Yeah, I've got you now, mate. So Tango, Sammy, Johnston, and Gagai, as our man Cal has responded also, is Jay Brayley likely to get 80 in round 25? If the bench is lined up the way it is here, Captain Rivalry, I think there's a red-hot chance that he is a sneaky good option rest of season. Take in mind he's always had a bit of an in-game injury risk, so it's not without its dangers, just like Wade Egan. And yes, round 25 is a tough one, Rivalry, with those Sharkies on a bye. Sharkies have carried a lot of people towards grand final, so we've really start putting in the work, listeners, preparing for next week. I love your thinking, Captain Rivalry. Simo, do you want to just finish off that question, mate, on X? I think we might have lost you again, mate. I think what we'll do, Dodds, I'm making a call, mate. We'll answer those questions on X on the page, on X or Facebook, I think, because we're just struggling. Simo, you're just cutting out a lot, mate. So we might just we'll pull up stumps with X, or if you could send them to Todd while I do the quick recap of the league, perhaps.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right, so listeners, we are getting towards the business end, or at the business end of the Listener League. So last week, we had Simo knocked off, unfortunately, or fortunately for you guys, to get someone close to a jersey win. Simo was, in fact, knocked off narrowly by Braden's Williami, who progresses, and Holmes and Watson have also prevailed over the Middle East. So well done. That means yours truly, first place finisher, BDE Redford, is up against the Todd to go straight to the grand final.
Big dance.
In a non-elimination. And then the other one is an elimination match between Holmes and Watson and Braden's Williami to progress to play the loser of our matchup. So all the best to the lads, and good luck this week, Mr. Tiodmian.
Lovely, mate. Good luck to yourself. All right. I'll just read out these questions from X.
Thanks, mate.
1 week played a deep league, all 2RF. Egan Butcher, Hamish Stewart, Frizzell, or Billy Burns, Samuel Fainu, or Fanua Polo. I think we've all gone Billy Burns pretty early there. Billy Burns, Hamish Stewart, then Egan Butcher for me.
I'll have Sione. Have a crack at Sione over Egan if you need an FRF.
It's Samuel Fainu, but that's okay.
Oh, no, forget about that.
The 3-4 CT Dub, who are your best two options out of Stags, Karapani, Hiroti, Sammy, or Hopawati for this weekend, boys? It's a good one. There's plenty there.
Hopper, number one with a bullet, left wing for Manly. Love it.
Agreed.
Hopper and Stags,
like that.
I'll go Karapani myself.
Yep, thought you might do that. I am Hopper and Stags as well, I believe there. Got one from our boy Shred, part of the Listener League, the big guy. Round 25 only, so ranked the following: Tupou, Marky Mark, and Braden Burns.
Shred being also our man, Captain Rivalry, so I'll bring it up here.
Yeah.
Tupou, Marky Mark, and Braden Burns. Take it away, please, Simo.
Look, Braden Burns would have to have an outstanding matchup to be in the consideration with the others.
He does. West Tigers.
He most certainly does. At home to the Knights.
And Roosters have...
Sorry, 25. My apologies. Sorry.
Roosters have Parramatta, so you're playing the two Roosters boys anyway.
You are.
Yeah, I go to Roosters. Yeah, Marky Mark
And
first.
Yeah, Marky Mark now he found a bit of form with Walker in the side. Good to see.
And last question here from Eggs. Excuse me. It is from Eggs11. He said, lads, it's the Eggman here. What's cracking?
G'day, Eggs.
Yeah,
boy.
Eggs, I like that.
I like your energy, mate. I like the cracking of the eggs.
If you had an opponent that was light on 5'8" post the Martin injury, would you use your number one claim to grab Tanner Boyd? He would still have access to King Tongia. Also, we play a flex, and he could always AE the spot. Only a 3-man bench. So, would you guys grab like a Tanner Boyd to block him from getting to 5'8"?
I like an ethical block. I like the one where you actually, you pick up the player, block them. The rest of your team is settled. You can do strategic moves like that. Something I'm not a huge fan of is the picking up and dropping of a player just to, lock them out for access to another player. I don't like to win that way myself. But presuming you're blocking, Tanner's not the sort of player I'd be fearful of playing against. But, let's be real. Do we know for sure that he scores more than King Tonga in that matchup?
Yeah.
Probably not really. It's more of if I already had a gun set of CTWs and I could see a guy could pick up like a Karapani this week who could beat me, they're the moves I like to do.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You're about that as well, Simo?
Yeah, I'm all about the unethical blocks, boys.
I hate it. We bar it in our league. If I catch anyone doing it in our league, it's a heavy sanction, and I'd find a way to get the person a player that they need.
No,
So.
I'm really well known for it. No, I'm just
you are, mate. You can't help yourself.
No, we had that person in the league, in the Legends League, do it a few years back. We had to kick someone out for it. Like they were doing the unethical, pick up and drop. Shout out to Walker and the rub down. I know he got in trouble for doing it. I think they called the free agent hot potato in theirs, which was really good. It's a bit of a shit tactic, but
it is.
Yeah, no, I'm not at all dirty about the listener league that happening either.
I was sort of segueing as we've segued beautifully.
It's all good Middle East. That's fine.
Colts legendary QBs. Segueing you in there, mate, just felt right. And yeah, it's not a great tactic. So listeners, we like to win fairly and ethically. Not a great tactic, I must say. But the show must go on. Cal has been a great contributor tonight. Cal, thank you, mate. G'day, Cal. Great ep, guys. Good luck to everyone else this week. Come on, Big Terrell, anytime. Love you.
Oh, yeah, boy. Go on, Cal.
Our man Shred / Captain Rivalry, fantastic contribution tonight as well. Some of our regulars, Phoenix Star in there. Big Will Souden or Soden. I will actually have a crack at the name as it's supposed to be. Good to have you aboard. We saw Big Kiwi Nick have a run tonight as well. How good do we run, honestly? And of course, Meso. Love your work. All right, boys. It has been a long one because my goodness, is there some changes in these teams at the moment. This is kind of nutty for this time of the year, I think. Like normally it's pretty set. There's a lot of injuries, a lot of movement, and you just, even if your team's looking pretty good, think ahead, boys. Think ahead about what you need to do to get a grand final because you want to have the best team on grand final day, not in round 24. So, Simo, love your work, mate. Shame about the tech at the back end, but you did some good things tonight.
Mate, the old tech's always an issue, but yes, thanks very much. It's good to be back. Good luck to all the listeners out there. Like you said before, mate, hit us up, Facebook or X. We'll try and help you start sits as best we can throughout the week.
Love it.
Beautiful. Well, Todd Mount, I'm going to throw one more surprise question from our man, Kate Snowden. Burton Team 1, Brimson Team 2. Would you start the last week Chanel Harris-Tavita disappointment over either?
I'll be starting Berto, no.
Yeah, Burton and Brimo. I can get around that. Will, yes, sir. Good luck all. We'll go listen to what I missed. Thanks for your efforts. Good on you, mate. Great. Thank you to you for joining us at the back end here. Todd Mount, looking sexy.
Mate.
Love your setup, mate. Very good.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Been a good potty. Been plenty to talk about. And as always, listen, stay petite.
Stay petite with a mana wave. That's where we live, baby. But we do it more like this. Just little, all right? Listeners, thank you very much for tuning in. Been an absolute privilege to bring it to you. Like and subscribe and tell your mum all about us if you can. Our female listeners that are just growing from 4 to 5, it's just been a whirlwind experience. And as always, listeners, get that booty in here. Oh, yeah. Petite.